Begin in child's pose, or balasana. Come onto all fours. Readjust their knees so they are as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes to touch and sink back into the hips. Lower onto the forearms or all the way down to the forehead. And rest in child's pose. Breathe deeply. Deep inhale. Feel the belly expand. And on the exhale, release the breath effortlessly. Continue to breathe mindfully. This is a grounding yoga practice. If you're feeling anxious or stressed, it may help to move through grounding postures. They will encourage you to root into the ground and create a feeling of balance and stability. Observe the support beneath you. Come back onto all fours. Readjust the hands and the knees underneath the hips. Move through cat and cow. Inhale, belly forward. Exhale, round back like a cat. Inhale, heart comes through the arms. Lift the chin, stretch the neck. Exhale, separate the shoulder blades, round the upper back. Look towards your belly button. Press firmly into the palms and into the tops of the feet as you undulate through the spine. Bring the palms forward so that the wrists are diagonal to the shoulders. Curl the toes under and press the hips up for downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Extend through the spine and the sides of the waist and lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Keep the heels high or gently lower them down towards the floor. Long through the arms and sides of the waist. And perhaps keep a soft bend in the knees. Continue to extend the breath. Look between the hands and tiptoe forward, noticing each footstep as you come right between the hands into Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax through the crown of the head. And let the arms dangle. You can also hold opposite elbows and allow the head to drop even further towards the ground. Shake your head yes and no to release any tension in the neck. Bend the knees and soften your belly onto the thighs. Get closer to the ground. Feel a decompression in the entire spine. Root down through the feet. Place the palms on the shins and lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, or half lift. And then release over the legs again. Arms out wide. Inhale, come up through a flat back and look up at your palms. Both hands to the heart. Standing on both feet, coming to a balanced posture. Bring your left foot to the ankle, to the calf, or to the inner thigh for tree pose. Hands at the heart. Balance here. Choose a focal point, something to look at that's not moving to increase your focus. Hands can also come overhead. Lift through the opposite hip. Bring the hands back to heart center. Lift through the left knee, bring it forward, and back down to the ground, standing on 2 feet. Move to the other side. Right foot to the ankle, to the calf, or bring the foot to the inner thigh. Open the right knee out, hands to the heart, or you can bring the hands up overhead. These balanced postures require concentration. Both in your mind and in your body. Hands return to the heart. Lift through the right knee And lower the foot back to the ground, palms to the side in mountain pose. Hands up overhead, look up at your fingertips. Exhale forward. Bring the palms to the shins and lift halfway again. Soften forward. Step back with the right foot, bend into the left knee for a runner's lunge. Open through the hip. Now readjust your back foot. Come into warrior two, bend through that left knee, look over your left fingertips, and open in both hips. Lift through the arches of the feet. Feel firmly planted into the ground, secure. Continue to take deep breaths. Extend through the left leg now. Move into Trikhanasana or triangle pose. Lean forward and pivot the entire body towards your left leg, starting at the thigh, moving all the way down to the shin. The lower hand is barely touching the lower leg. Top hand is extended. You could look up or straight to the side or even down. Come back to starting position, hands to the hips. Turn the toes in and turn your right toes out now to come into warrior two on the opposite side, the right side. Look over the fingertips, open the chest, soften the tailbone, relax the ribs. Breathe deeply. Now extend through the right leg, reach forward, and pivot the body into triangle pose, lowering to the thigh or to the shin or even to the ankle. Open through the chest and send the tailbone down to the back heel. A balanced foundation on both legs. Come back to warrior two. Hands to the hips, turn the toes to the wide edge of the mat and then to the front edge of the mat. Bring your right and left arm down into runner's lunge and step back, downward facing dog. Plant both palms and balls of the feet into the ground, into the earth. And continue to extend in the spine. Lift up through the hips. Come onto both knees, onto all fours, and step forward with the left foot between the hands. Curl the back toes underneath and return to a runner's lunge. Readjust for warrior one. Back foot is slightly angled. Hands lift up overhead, bend into the left knee, both hips pointing forward this time. Broaden in the chest and in the collarbones. Bring the hands around and bind the hands behind you, palms together. Lift the chest and slowly lower down into humble warrior, with the head lower than the heart. Soften the hands to the ground. Release through the back foot and pick up the back heel. Lift your left hand for a lunge twist. Press into the right palm. And look up towards the left fingertips or straight ahead. Externally rotate through both shoulders. And then release that left hand down to the ground. Step back into downward facing dog. Place both knees on the ground and step forward with your right foot this time. Curl the back toes underneath, lift the back knee, runner's lunge. Readjust the back foot for warrior one. Bend into the right knee. Press into the back edge of the foot. Bring the hands up overhead. Both hips point forward. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Bring the hands around, bind behind, and switch your thumbs. Gentle back bend, and come forward into humble warrior with the head lower than the heart. Release the hands down to the floor, readjust the back leg, lift the back heel, press into your left palm. Lunge twist. This time the right arm comes up. Release the right palm down. Step back with the right foot into downward facing dog. Notice any differences in this posture in down dog. Perhaps you have more space now. Soften both knees to the ground. Shift back into child's pose. Knees open or closed. Sink back. Option to stay here, or move over to one side, stacking one hand on top of the other for a lateral stretch. Deep breath. Switch sides. Notice your connection to the floor, to the ground. Come back to center. Return to all fours. Curl the toes under, extend into downward facing dog. Tiptoe forward to the front edge of the mat. Lift halfway. And soften forward. Come back to Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. And release. Come up through a flat spine. Look up at the thumbs and bring the hands to the heart. Extend the right foot back. For warrior three, another balanced posture. Shift into the left leg, flex the back foot and stay there, or continue to pivot the body towards the ground. A long line from the head all the way to the back heel. Back toes pointing down to the ground, hands at the heart or out like an airplane. Maybe even bringing the palms forward with the biceps by the ears. Gently release. Come back to the starting position with the right leg behind, and now stand on 2 feet again. Inhale, hands to the heart. Take the left foot back. Flex through the back foot and balance here, or continue to shift forward. Body is perpendicular to the floor. Gently shift and release. Bring the left leg behind you and step on both feet once again. Rooting into the floor, into the earth. Inhale, extend the hands up overhead. Exhale, fold through center. Inhale, half lift. Soften forward. Step back and sit on the heels. Shoulders over hips. Take a breath. Be still for a moment. Now shift onto your side. Come back onto the spine and into a supported Shavasana, a constructive rest. Tent the legs with the knees together and feet apart. Arms by your side, palms facing up in a receiving gesture. Breathe naturally. Rest. Notice any physical or emotional shifts. Observe any passing thoughts, and then release them. Let go of any residual tension in the body, and rest into the support of the earth beneath you. I will leave you here in constructive rest. Stay as long as you like. I thank you for practicing with me today, and may you feel grounded and rooted, secure and safe.